Hello and welcome to this short brief before you sit your NMC OSCE at one of the three competence test centres in the UK at University of Northampton, Oxford Brookes University or Ulster University. Please ensure you listen to this brief fully before you attend for your OSCE, as there will not be a further briefing at the test centres while procedures are being applied for social distancing during the COVID-19 pandemic. This brief replaces the briefing you would normally receive when arriving at a centre. Please listen carefully and contact us in advance if you have questions that you would like to have clarified. This candidate brief is a step-by-step guide of the information that you, as a candidate, must receive prior to starting your OSCE and therefore contains important information. The safety of candidates and the CTC staff are at the heart of what we do in our test centres. As a result, social distancing requirements must be adhered to once you arrive onto the site of the test centres, including where those centres are based within a university campus. This applies to all processes that you will hear about in this video. Please ensure you do not come to the centre if you have any symptoms of COVID-19. It is your responsibility to self-screen for symptoms prior to coming for your OSCE. If you have symptoms, you will not be permitted entry to the test centre. Please check the website for the CTC that you are attending and follow the directions provided with regards to accessing the centre. Please note that this largely means elevators are not to be used unless there is a reasonable adjustment requirement in place with advanced notice. One-way systems will be in place. While lockers will be provided for storage of personal items, please note that you may only bring your ID documentation and a bottle of water with you into the testing areas of the centre. Mobile phones must be stored in lockers and cannot be on your person throughout the test. You may wish to bring food and snacks with you, as catering facilities may not be open on the day of your test. You will be required to attend the reception to provide your documents and have your photograph taken. These will be checked and returned to you after testing. The list of documents required can be found on the learning platforms of the test centres. You will then be asked to take a seat in the waiting area, ensuring social distancing. You will have an opportunity to review pictures and laminated documents that are used in the assessment, and these will be displayed on the walls for you to view. You will then be invited by the examiner or invigilator to proceed to be tested. Follow the invigilator or examiner to the testing area, keeping social distancing, and wait until someone arrives and provides you with direction to commence your test. In the event of a fire alarm sounding, stay with the examiner who will advise you. You are not permitted to take any personal belongings into the test centre. This includes the mobile phones, which must be switched off and stored with your personal belongings. You must be dressed as you would for clinical practice. Only smooth rings and earrings allowed, no necklaces, no watches or armbands, and hair must be above the collar. You must not wear nail varnish, gels or false nails, and you must wear suitable shoes. During the restriction period, the normal changing room facilities may not be available. Please arrive dressed for assessment where possible and check the information specific for the test centre you are attending. Designated toilets are available during your time at the centre. You must adhere to social distancing requirements when using the toilets. There will be an opportunity to have a short break if required, to visit the toilet or have a drink of water. When having a drink of water, you must remain in the testing bay. If you do not have water, we will bring you a drink of water on request. Speaking to other candidates during the testing process is not permitted, including during any toilet breaks. Please check the centre website prior to attending to consider any requirements that are in place for COVID-19. This will include information around wearing personal protective equipment during the OSCE. We will take a digital image of you on arrival for use by both the NMC ID checkers and your examiner for identification purposes. Please ensure that you have the confidentiality agreement and declaration completed and submitted. You will be required to do this using an online format. You may receive the link to do this to your email on the day prior to testing. Please check your email and please make sure you have the ability to complete this, usually through your phone prior to arriving at the centre or using a tablet provided at the centre. Please check the online information about what approach your centre is taking. In the confidentiality agreement and declaration, you are required to confirm that you are fit and well to proceed with the exam. This includes being free of symptoms of COVID-19. Prior to the exam commencing, the examiner will also ask you this question and you are required to state yes before your OSCE can be commenced. Please ensure you have accessed the resources on the online learning platform. If not, you will need to declare this during the online registration process and will be required to complete an online learning platform waiver. The examiner will check which part of the NMC register you are to be OSCE tested on that day. For example, adult, mental health, midwifery, children's, learning disability. The NMC identification check will be carried out whilst you sit your test, and any personal documentation submitted will be returned to you after the test. We'll now cover some general information around attending for your OSCE. Test centres are latex-free environments. Nothing in your exam will contain latex. All interactions with you throughout the exam will be recorded on camera. You will remain in one testing bay for all stations of the OSCE with the same examiner. As you move through each station, there will be an opportunity to drink water from your own bottle, request a water refill, and to go to the toilet if required. Please make your request to the examiner. If you feel unwell, please inform a member of staff. If you have technical questions, these must be directed to the examiner. You will have pens provided for you, as the colour of ink used will vary in each station. If a pen runs out, please do not worry, we will provide a replacement. You may not bring your own pens into the exam. The examiner may stand up and observe your actions during the station. This is normal and please do not be alarmed. Social distancing will also be maintained during observation. If you require adjustments to the height of the bed or mannequin, please inform the examiner so that they can adjust it to your requirements. You may need to step out of the testing bay temporarily to ensure social distancing, and please follow the directions of the examiner for this. You will be given the opportunity at the beginning of each station to familiarise yourself with specific items of equipment. Please do not unnecessarily handle equipment if not required. You are required to treat the mannequin as real and direct any questions to the mannequin. The examiner will be answering on the mannequin's behalf. Please look at the mannequin and not the examiner when talking to the mannequin. In each station, you will be informed when there are approximately 5 minutes remaining. Some further information around the OSCE examination. You will be required to undertake 6 stations, which include assessment, planning, implementation, evaluation, and 2 skills stations. The examiners are there in an examiner capacity, and the expectation is that you will be a lone practitioner. Decontaminate your hands as you would in practice using your clinical judgment. There are hand washing facilities and hand sanitizer gel available in every testing bay. If you are feeling stuck, just take a moment. Breathe slowly and think to yourself what you would do in practice. If you make a mistake, please tell the examiner and explain to them what you would do following this mistake in practice. Always follow your NMC code and behave in a professional manner. When the timer reaches 0, that part of your exam is over. There will be no extra time unless a technical issue arises. Follow the examiner instructions for each station. Once you have completed your OSCE, you will be directed to report to the invigilator, who will guide you around exiting the building. Your documentation will be returned, and you will leave the centre through the identified route. A one-way system will be in place. Please ensure you have taken all your personal belongings with you before you leave the centre. It will not be possible to congregate in university or test centre premises to wait for other candidates due to social distancing requirements. Please make arrangements to meet your colleagues outside of campus buildings and retain social distancing requirements. The test centres will confirm what arrangements are in place if you should need to wait for colleagues and are travelling together. You will be notified by email of your OSCE result. Finally, we look forward to welcoming you to our test centres and wish you all the best in your OSCE. We all want you to do your best and succeed, and you can be sure we will be there to support you and provide you with a positive OSCE experience.